Have you ever felt like you're showing up, you're doing all of the right things, but it still feels as though no one is noticing? Or like you're working so hard, but something is missing. You feel like something's missing and you can't figure out why your impact feels smaller than you really know that it should. Let me tell you, you are not alone and you are not imagining things, and this episode is for you. Welcome to Rooted to Rise, the podcast for Christian women entrepreneurs ready to step boldly into their God-given calling. I am your host, Ebony Lyn. Here, we share faith-fueled insights and practical strategies to help you build a thriving, God-aligned business. Now let's get rooted so you can rise. Great day, Powerhouse. I'm Ebony Lyn and welcome to Rooted to Rise. This is a space where we talk all about faith-driven business, owning your God-given authority, and showing up in the fullness of who you are called to be. Today's episode is a personal one because I have been exactly where you might be. And this is feeling stuck, playing small, buying into your own excuses, and wondering if you'll ever actually seize the promise, wondering if you will ever finally step into the influence you know that you are actually called to have, right? And if this resonates with you, if that resonates with you, stay with me because we are breaking down today what I like to call the invisible trap. And ultimately, this is the mindset, the habits, and the fears that are keeping you from stepping into the leader that you are meant to be. Let's start with the truth bomb. Playing small doesn't protect you. It limits you. And I know what it is like to sit in a space where you are filled with a tremendous amount of gratitude. You are grateful for what you have. You are grateful for where you are, yet you still feel as though there is more for you. And maybe you're wondering, is it okay to want more? Am I not being grateful? Okay. Shouldn't I just be content with what I have? And I would like to clarify this for you. God never called you to shrink back or to dim your light. He has called you to be a light. Being a light, when light fills a room, it's expansive, okay? And so Matthew chapter 5, verse 14, it says, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden," right? But here's the trap. The trap is that instead of shining fully, we tell ourselves stories in order to justify staying invisible. We say things like, okay, what if I try and I fail? What if I raise my rates and no one buys? What if I put myself out there and people just judge me? Does any of this sound familiar? If it does, it is because I've been there too. And here's the truth. The fear of failure isn't why you're really holding back. The fear of being fully seen is the actual reason. I want you to think about this. Showing up means that you are putting your whole voice, your ideas, your actual work on display. You're putting the real you on display. And that comes with a level of vulnerability. And it opens you up to judgment. It opens you up to rejection and even the possibility of hearing nothing. It's easier to stay small simply because small feels safe. But let me ask you this. Is staying small honoring the gifts God has given you? Is staying small serving the people you were called to impact? Fear will always whisper reasons why you should stay invisible. Trust me, I've heard them all, okay? But there is good news, and it is this: you do not have to listen, and you have a choice. So, how do we break out of the invisible trap and actually step into the influence that you're called to? It starts with alignment, aligning your inner world with the outer results that you desire. Okay, here's what I mean. Here are 3 steps that you can take today. 1, recognize the fear. Write down one fear that has been keeping you stuck and be honest. If needed, lock yourself in a closet and just be real with yourself, okay? Because you want to ask yourself, is it fear of failure? Is it fear of success? Is it fear of judgment? Do I fear rejection? And once you name it, you begin to put yourself in a position where you begin to have authority over it, and it begins to lose its power, okay? So 2, I want you to replace the lie with truth. I want you to go back to scripture and find a promise that actually counters your fear. So for example, if your fear is, what if I'm not enough? You could replace it with Philippians 4:13, which says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, right? And I go so much more deeper into everything that we're actually discussing today. And in my free mini course, From Invisible to Influential. And if you haven't listened to it yet, I highly recommend it, okay? Because it is the perfect next step. And again, it goes so much deeper into everything that we're covering today. It's the perfect next step if this episode is speaking to you. So step number 3. Number 3 is take one bold step, okay? Confidence doesn't show up when you feel ready. It grows as you act, okay? And ask yourself, what's one thing that you can do today that feels bold? Maybe it's sharing a story on social media. Maybe it's actually applying for that opportunity that you've been avoiding, or simply journaling your ideas and really kind of figuring out how you can begin to move forward in faith. And every time you take a step, you're strengthening your confidence muscle, okay? And you're breaking free from the trap of invisibility. So, Powerhouse, let me leave you with this. God didn't create you to blend in like skin tone concealer, okay? Or he didn't create you to hide in the shadows. He created you to have a specific sphere of influence. You have your own zone of genius, okay? He has created you to lead. He has called you to serve. And he has also created you to shine in your unique way, the only way that you can, okay? And yes, showing up fully is vulnerable. I won't even front about that, okay? I know that it feels scary initially, but you know what's scarier? What's scarier is waking up one day and realizing that you allow fear to rob you of your destiny. Okay? So today, I challenge you, take one bold step. One bold step. I want you to claim your authority. I want you to step into your influence, knowing that you were made for this. If today's episode resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. Okay, Let me know what fear has been keeping you stuck and what bold step are you actually going to take. Send me a DM over on Insta or simply share your thoughts with me in the comments wherever you're listening. And if you are ready to go deeper, my free mini audio course From Invisible to Influential is the perfect next step for you, okay? It's short, actionable, and it is designed to help you align your mindset, craft your magnetic message, as well as give you the keys to show up boldly. The link is in the show notes, okay? I thank you so much for your time today. And powerhouse girl, you've got the juice, okay? Stay rooted so you can rise. Bye for now.